That's right. Put your hands together. Best Country 106. It's Jay and Laney J live. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host, soloing it this week. We appreciate you all joining us on the radio, online, SEOKradio.com, as well as right here live in studio. We got TikTok live, Facebook, and YouTube live streaming now, so you can join us. You can watch the show. Good morning, CTS. So you can watch the show or you can listen however you're consuming us. We appreciate you this morning. 12 minutes after 7 a.m., we have a very special in-studio guest this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a candidate for state representative here in District 1, Austin Loard. Welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thank you, Jay.
Did I say all that right? Did I get anything wrong?
No, everything's right. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you for joining us. And as I have been with some of our folks that are running for office here, I want to say thank you for coming in, finding our audience important enough to come in and tell about why you're running for office.
Of course. It's always great to share that vision with the constituents of District 1 and kind of share our platform with anyone that's willing to listen.
Well, first and foremost, for those that may not know who Austin Loard is, please give us some details about yourself.
So, a little bit of background about myself. Like Jay said, my name is Austin Loard, and I'm a candidate for state representative here in District 1. My family's from Idabel. My fiance, Allie, is from Idabel as well. She's a 2014 graduate. I graduated in 2017. I actually have a younger brother that will graduate this next year, class of 2027. And then my dad's a career prosecutor in the area, and my mother's a career special education teacher in this area. So after graduating from Idabel High School in 2017, I was blessed to receive a leadership scholarship that focused on service leadership to attend the University of Central Oklahoma. And while at UCO, I obtained a bachelor's degree in forensic science, a bachelor's degree in political science, and then through the scholarship, a minor in leadership. At this time, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer, and then the Lord had other plans for me, and I've came back home, and I've served as a paraprofessional and then a teacher the last 2 years. Then I've also coached football, baseball, powerlifting, esports, as well as teaching geometry and English 1.
Wow. So you are versed in our education system here in the state of Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
How will those experiences, how has that prepared you to maybe tackle Oklahoma's education challenges? Because we hear about that all the time right now.
So my experiences from a paraprofessional coach and teacher, I've seen the whole spectrum in the classroom, and it's really prepared me to face these challenges. Oklahoma ranks 50th in education, and that's really a sad truth that we're facing every day. And it's not just throwing more money at the system like we've always done. It's going back to the fundamentals, getting back to the basics, reading, comprehension, spelling, vocabulary at younger ages. It's not teaching to one test. When we start teaching to one test, we're selling our teachers short, our students short, and then it's pushing more trade schools. It's showing more opportunities for these kids. It seems right now in education, we try to put every kid in one box as opposed to showing them which way to go. And so it's just opening the door a little bit, getting back to the fundamentals, and then pushing different routes for these students.
What would some of those different routes be? Maybe special reforms, things of that nature?
So if I understand the question right, are you saying different paths for the students?
Yeah. You just mentioned some of those different routes that you made.
So a big demand right now is a lot of the trades, and so often that I see at the high school is students not understanding how can I go to the VOTEC or what requirements do I need.
Gotcha.
And so I think showing them at an earlier age, maybe that middle school age, here's the pros of the VOTEC, the different routes the VOTEC offers, a military route, as well, a workforce route. It seems right now they do one tour as a sophomore class, and it takes about half the morning, and I just don't think that's enough time to really invest if you want to go to VOTEC. Just maybe have a higher emphasis on that from an earlier age, and then that'll open the door for a lot more kids to explore that, to get their certifications, and then if that looks like trade school after, then they already have the certificates to do that.
So if I understand that correctly, maybe even open up some of those, like the VOTEC style stuff even earlier than just in high school. Okay. I haven't thought about that before.
And, I'll add to that. I've had one boy, and he wanted to weld when he got out of high school. He didn't get into the welding program at VOTEC, but he already has a job lined up. And he said, if I would have known what it took to get into VOTEC, I would have done things different as far as electives and coursework and things to prepare myself so I could have that certificate when I graduated from high school, as opposed to not having it. And, he comes from a family of welders, and so he's been able to go and test and pass his welding tests since then. But it's just one of those, if he had more resources, he would have done it a different way.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Wow. Well, I mean, when it comes to that type of thing, when it comes to what legislature can do to better support and retain quality teachers, for example, I think having those options for those kids keeps them a little more settled in the classroom, keeps their attention better.
Absolutely.
Maybe. And then if you have the attention of the kid, then keeping those quality teachers may be
Absolutely.
a little bit easier as well. What's some other ways we could keep the quality teachers here in Oklahoma?
So two major crises we see with teacher shortages is teacher retirement. It's a big concern when Arkansas and Texas are on different retirement plans. It seems Oklahoma, you come in and you're going to earn less money off the bat, work longer, and then have a less retirement. And so many teachers on the borders of surrounding states are more enticed to go to Texas, Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, just because their retirement looks a little better. I went to college with a girl, and she had an education degree, but she ended up going to Texas just because within 3 years her pay would be a quarter better than Oklahoma, and then she would have to work 12 years less.
Wow.
If she went to Texas. And so she went home, and that was why she decided to do that. And it seems to be more of a common trend. And then Oklahoma also does emergency certifications, but when you do your emergency certification, you may not teach a subject that relates back to your degree. You could teach, say, math, but you have a history degree, or you have a political science degree, or you have something else, and so there's no guarantee you'll actually teach something you're comfortable in. So then you're setting teachers up that may want to stay in Oklahoma, but they don't feel comfortable teaching the subject, and then it's, do I enjoy teaching to the fullest, or do I not enjoy it for X, Y, and Z? But they may actually enjoy the teaching, just not the subject. And I think that's one thing to look at, is making sure emergencies can teach something they're comfortable with. They don't have the traditional background of the education degree, and so making them comfortable in what they can teach, so those kids are learning to the fullest ability, and then they feel comfortable doing what they're doing. Or those are some ideas as what the legislator could do.
Well, obviously you're very versed in education, but we could stay on that all morning probably. But what are some of the other things that you're hearing on the campaign trail? Since you've been out? You've been out quite a bit. A lot of people have seen you and talked to you. You've been hearing a lot of questions. What are some of the things you're hearing?
So the main issues I'm seeing right now on the campaign trail is, of course, education.
Right.
And then criminal justice reform. It seems there's a lot of repeat offenders out, or people that have charges or previous charges against children are out. And then property taxes are a big issue. And then transparency seems to be another one. Is the constituents don't seem to feel as connected as they would like to with the state level and maybe the local level as well. And it's something that we've kind of centered our campaign around, is being as transparent. Here's the ideas we want, making sure they're practical, they're achievable. And then I've said before, when we're at the Capitol, it's treating it as open as we can be the door's open. Here's our social media pages. We've talked about doing newspaper ads, radio ads, just stuff the whole time, so we can just be as open as we can be with the community back home.
And I like to offer to every elected official the opportunity to send us reports. And like we were talking about off the air the other day, if you sending those reports, at least the people are hearing what you're doing throughout the time. That
Absolutely.
way, if they feel like something's not being addressed, either they see what you've done and realize that you haven't gotten to it yet, or they can shoot you a message and say, I don't know if you're aware of this even.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, you especially once you get into office, you may not be as aware unless one of your constituents tells you about it.
Absolutely, and that's one of those, it may look like it hasn't come up yet, or it's why is he not proposing this bill, but maybe it's not out of committee, maybe it's having to be reworked on, it's that kind of transparency. It was shot down at this stage because of XYZ, and so it's just keeping it open, that way everyone can see really what's going on.
Absolutely. Property taxes, you mentioned you used the word taxes, so we should probably jump into that. Definitely a growing concern for Oklahomans.
It is.
First off, what are you hearing, if anything special, and then are there any plans when it comes to that, or is it too soon to say there are plans for that?
So the main issue with property taxes is they've never been voted on. It's in the Oklahoma Constitution that we'll have property taxes, but it's never been voted on by legislator, by local officials, state question, anything like that. So it's never been law that it'll be a 2% increase, 5% increase, and that's why we're seeing such a drastic jump across the board, and that's why it's so different. I've seen one neighbor may pay $100 a year, and the next door neighbor may be paying $2,000 a year. And so there's no constant measurable. There's nothing the same across the board for everyone.
Like a standard.
Yeah, there's no
Gotcha.
standard across the board. And one thing I'm hoping with property taxes is we can find a standard. There was an idea that was brought up this year at the Capitol that would do a year-long freeze and then a 2% increase to match inflation, or the hope was to match inflation. I'm not for raising taxes, but if they did that, it would at least be the same percent every year. Everyone could kind of know what to expect, but some stuff to maybe minimize property taxes. People have talked about maybe taxing medical marijuana at a higher rate to see if that would maybe help the veterans. Would that knock their property taxes off, or would that be something we could try to do to minimize the elderly on a fixed income? Could we start doing it that way? That's been an idea. Or another idea has been, do we raise sales taxes? But property taxes fund so much of our local communities with schools, hospitals, and fire departments, different things like this. And so the money will have to come
Where
from
would it
somewhere.
come from?
It has to come from somewhere, but there's been a lot of talks, and then particularly in the governor race, of ideas for maybe trying to freeze or eliminate this in the next 4 to 10 years. So there's some stuff I think may start in the next year for some relief for us down here.
Well, we've got a couple more minutes. Is there anything up to this point that you thought, man, I really wanted to hit this home for the listeners on the radio, but we haven't gotten to it yet?
So I think it's two things.
Okay.
The first one being, we talked a little bit about the criminal justice reform system and some stuff, but one main thing is,
Because safety is a big deal.
public safety is a huge issue with our communities, and I think we deserve to feel safe at home in our communities. And we want to have a community that feels safe for our children to grow up in, and we want families to stay here, feel safe, and then bring others in to feel safe as well.
Absolutely.
And so part of that, we see so many repeat offenders coming in and out, and then when they go to jail, they learn how to do these crimes better. They get out and they do it better. But
More efficiently.
they learn how to do it more efficient while they're in. Well, part of this, several years ago, Oklahoma dropped a drug charge where methamphetamine would be a misdemeanor and several other drugs on this level would be misdemeanors. Well, the hope was it would reduce the population in jails and in prison,
Right.
but then also we were supposed to have drug rehabilitation centers put up so that way they could go and get rehab, drop the population of the incarcerated, and then move forward with it. But we dropped the charges, but then we never put the centers in. So we see so many people, repeat offenders, going in after they've committed a crime with drugs, and then they get out, 6 months to a year later because it's a misdemeanor.
Right.
And so, well, why would I go to rehab when I could just go to jail for 6 months, get out? And then that's why I think our theft numbers have gone up, is people are stealing to try to go get the drugs and the fix that they need. And so that's one thing to look at. And then the other part of criminal justice reform is on child predators. I think so many times we see these cases get lingered out 5-10 years after it happened. Maybe you have a new DA, maybe you have new prosecutors, you have people that have passed away or moved on, and then the victims go from little kids to adults, and they don't want to handle that anymore. And so I think there needs to be a cap on how long these cases have to wait. Maybe it's a 5-year wait. It can't exceed 5 years.
Gotcha.
It seems those cases are notorious for continuances and continuing longer than it should, and then people kind of forget some of that information, and it's not as big as it once was. And children, safety of children, and communities are a big part of our platform. And I work with kids every day, and so you want them to feel safe at school and feel safe at home. So those are some of my ideas with the criminal justice reform system that I think we didn't hit earlier.
Awesome. Was there another part of that?
It was just that 2-part.
Perfect. Awesome. For those, we are about to wrap it up, but for those that have been listening to you today, maybe they were undecided voters, or maybe they just hadn't really paid a lot of attention just yet, and they realize we're within a week away now from the election, so I better pay some attention. What's the best way for a constituent to get a hold of you, or maybe learn more about? I saw you on. I know you do have a Facebook page. Is that maybe the most efficient way to find out about you, or do you have a number that they can call, text, or email even?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page. I have a personal page, Austin Loard, and then I also have a campaign page, Austin Loard for State Representative. My phone number and email is on this.
Awesome.
But my phone number, 580-208-0341. Shoot me a call, text, email as well. And then that's usually the best way. My fiance and I, my family, we've been out door knocking since mid-March. We've covered most of this area. We're going to finish it up this week. And so if I haven't been by, I should be by this week. We've handed out flyers. It has a lot of our background on it. That information is also on our campaign page as well.
I saw that.
It'll have information about us, the events we've been to, speakings. We've answered questions, kind of voiced our opinion on different concerns and issues we've seen in the district. So I would say the Facebook page, or I call or text is the easiest way to get in touch.
Awesome. Well, Austin, it has been a pleasure. I appreciate you, like I said again, to the fact that you found it important enough to come and talk to our listeners there. And I know that they appreciate it too. We had a great audience this morning for the show. So once again, candidate for state representative here in District 1, Austin Loard. Just look him up on his Facebook page, or call that number. What was that number one more time?
580-208-0341.
Appreciate you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this morning, sir.
Thank you, Jay.
Absolutely. All right, folks, we will be right back. It's Bass Country 106 with Jay and Laney J Live. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host, and of course, I've got Laney J's Lowdown as presented by Jay Lindley coming up next. If you didn't see this video yesterday, an alligator helped law enforcement. I'll just put it that way, if you didn't happen to see it. And a rare half-red, half-yellow apple is a new local celebrity. All that and more coming up next on Laney J's Lowdown. Here's Luke Bryan, Country and She Knows It on Best Country 106. Good morning! That's right, it's time for Laney J's Lowdown, as presented by Jay Lindley. Victor Rivas, 40 years old. Did you see this video? It was all over the internet yesterday, and I watched it. He was bitten by an alligator during a police chase, but kept running before his arrest. Louisiana State Police reported Monday an alligator had helped their pursuit. His Toyota Supra hit a concrete barrier, suffered a blowout during the pursuit, found the vehicle. He showed obvious signs of impairment. They spotted him walking around by a swamp. He dove into the swamp to try to get away from the police, and the alligator was like, "Ooh, lunch, yummy." So it showed I think it was the body cam footage of the officer. Also, a rare half-red, half-yellow apple becomes local celebrity in New Zealand. Perfectly split right down the middle. It's exactly half red and exactly half yellow, and it's attracted crowds to this corner market in New Zealand. Says it's now a new celebrity. It's a local celebrity there in New Zealand. That's your Laney J's Lowdown, is presented by Jay Lindley. I got some local announcements to be made. Baptiste School Reunion, Old Settlers Reunion, is Saturday the 13th. Doors open at 4, potlucks at 5 o'clock. Featuring classes that end in 6. Class of 76, it's your 50th year. 50th year. Can y'all believe that? 76, class of 76 has been a big 5-0 for you. All former Baptiste students and their families are welcome. It's at the Baptiste School Reunion. They'd love to see all of you there. Big shout out to all of our locals who've got some awesome local announcements to be made. We have the impossible question coming up next, so stay tuned for that, my friends. Also, don't forget Blanc's Odds and Ends, my friends. He's been making videos. Have you seen these new, it's basically these huge pieces of wood that they're using for like mantles and other stuff. Watched a video of it this morning. You got to check it out at Blanc's Odds and Ends. If you're looking for those huge, beautiful floating mantle pieces or like floating end tables, these huge pieces of beautiful art, like, I don't know, it's artistic style wood. It's just beautifully cut. You got to check it out. It's Blanc's Odds and Ends. Check them out on Facebook. Of course, they're in the Old Glens location. If you want to stop in and check it out, it's Blanc's Odds and Ends. BLANQUES. Blanc's Odds and Ends. Those mantelpieces, man. I've got a fireplace, a rock fireplace that it'd be perfect for one of those dark wood mantelpieces that they've got going on. Exactly. Y'all know me so well up there in the chat. Anyway, Blanc's Odds and Ends. They also have all kinds of services in there. They got Savage Drain Cleaning, LLC. They got construction from BJ Crutchfield. They got moving services available. Yeah, they've got you covered. It's Blanc's Odds and Ends at the Old Glens location. Go check them out today. Your impossible question is coming up next, my friends. Are y'all ready for this? Y'all think so? I've got to go entertain the masses in the chat. They're going to be mad at me. They're not going to be happy with me. I got some Luke Combs laid up for you this morning. Ain't no love in Oklahoma. And then I can go chat with you guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I haven't been attentive to you. Go hang out in the chat now at KKBI FM. And, of course, your impossible question brought to you by Nova is coming up next. We got some Luke Combs. Ain't no love in Oklahoma on Best Country 106. Good morning. That's right. It's time for the impossible question brought to you by Nova on Broadway in downtown Broken Bow. Give us a call if you want to play. And let me give you the numbers real quick. Let me mute TikTok so don't kick us off. They're all mean like that. 584-3388 or 584-3389 or 584-3372 are the numbers to call. There we go. That's the numbers to call if you want to play the impossible question and win the prize. Today's Wednesday. We're hooking you up with some queso. Queso, baby. That's right. From Mexico Lino. Got you. Shout out to Mexico Lino one time. All right, y'all ready to do this? Give us a call if you want to play. Oh, answer in the chat, please. Laney J's not here to save lives, so I need you to go into the chat and help answer, especially if you love playing the game but you've already won the last 30 days. Give somebody else a chance to win the prize. Go into the chat, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and answer. Keyword, KKBI FM. Here we go. Over 50% of American adults use this in their home. Not everyone likes it, but overall, more say they like it than dislike it. What is it? I'm not a huge fan. Thankfully, I don't think Laura is a huge fan either. Not that we've never used it in the home, but we don't regularly. What is it? Over 50% of American adults use this in their home. Not everyone likes it, but more like it than report do not like it. What is it? All right, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. What's your answer?
Air freshener.
It's air freshener! Yes! Right off the bat. Who do we have on the phone?
Trent Mitchell.
Trent Mitchell. Let me write that down. I forgot to write down Heather Salinas yesterday and almost forgot. So I've got it down. Trent Mitchell. Congratulations, Trent. Come by the radio station and pick up your certificate for that queso.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day. Trent Mitchell. Messed up my game. No, I'm kidding. I need to come up with another one now. That was too easy. My bad. My bad, chat. Too easy. Yeah. First pitch of the game. Swing home run by Trent Mitchell. It says 57% of us report using air fresheners. Only 48% say they like candles. 19% say they use diffusers. Here's another one. When it comes to the smells, it was too Googleable? Okay, got you. Sometimes I can't word it right to where it's still easily Googleable. It says here 55% of us say the way our home smells is even more important than how it looks. I'm going to agree with that. If I walk into my house and there's like some clutter, some lived-in mess, I'm okay with that if it smells good. If I walk in the house and it's spotless, but it stinks, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I can get behind that. I definitely would rather have a lived-in mess and some good smells than for it to be spotless and stanky. That's right. All right. Well, should I come up with another one real quick? My house always smells like food cooking. That's what I'm talking about. Incense and questionable choices. That's hilarious. Y'all are too funny with it. My house, the only time I don't like the way my house smells, it was when I walk in after like a week of not being there and nobody's been there, and it's got that like old house, because our house was built in like 64 or something like that. It's got that old house scent to it. It's just nobody's been here in a week, so it doesn't have like human scent. It's just got that old house smell to it. I don't know if y'all have the same issue as me. Anyway, I got some Yeehaw by Jank Owen to wrap up the hour. Top of the hour, we got news, weather, and sports. All the things. And we got your entertainment news. Got some more country music news as well. Oh, that's all. Okay, so what they're saying is that's how it always smells, but I'm nose blind. Okay, I got that. I can see how that. I'm just used to it. All right, that makes sense. So it's got that old house scent all the time, but I'm just used to it. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I mean, it's not like a disgusting scent. It's just a very, it's a very recognizable scent. And I don't smell it anywhere else, but in old houses that that people ain't around. You walk in an old house where there's family and people in there, and it usually smells something more strong is probably overtaking that old house smell. You know what I mean? Like food smells, things of that nature. You got crusty children, that smell. That can't get that smell out either. I called that old church smell. I love it. All right, we'll be back. Top of the hour up next. Good morning. That's right. Put your hands together. Best Country 106. It's Jay and Laney J live. Good morning. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host, hanging out with you here. It's been a great morning. It's hump day, right? It's Wednesday. Oh, man. Can you believe it? Halfway through the week. Although I will say my week has been very busy, so it feels like it's been even... I don't know. Feels like it's been a longer week than what it has been. Matter of fact, Monday felt like 2 days. The morning and then the afternoon, break that up, felt like 2 days. Tuesday, 2 days. So if today should be Friday, right? It feels like Friday to me now. So, all right. Obviously, we're not going to be playing any Are You Smarter Than Jay Lindley today because Laney J is out this week, but she will be back Monday morning, ready to rock it, and we'll have to get some good players to play starting next week for Are You Smarter Than Jay Lindley? Plus, help us remember we're also going to play Wordle Wednesday starting again next week because I don't know how to play it. Laney's gone, so that's how it is. Hey, just a couple of things before we jump into some more great country music from Joe Nichols, 10 minutes after 8 a.m. New study shows that it's not the amount of screen time, but how you spend it. Researchers are now arguing that measuring screen time by minutes is like judging diet quality by food weight alone. Their framework identifies 5 key factors that matter more than the duration of that screen time. Says here, engagement mode, purpose, content structure, emotional tone, and timing context are the 5 for the framework there. For teenagers, one study found total screen time had no mental health link, but hostile online experiences increased same-day distress, while positive interactions reduced overall risk. So researchers compared different screen activities registering identical time used, and it was vast different outcomes. So basically, in layman's terms, it's not amount of time, screen time, but what you do with it. It's not how much time you're spending on your phone, but what you're looking at, what you're consuming during that time. So I'm just saying, make sure you are putting in what you want to put out. Put in good, so good comes out. Here's Joe Nichols. That's right. It's time for the mashup of the news. Got some quick entertainment news for you as Netflix has renewed A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for a 3rd and final season. Set to debut in 2027, Emma Myers will return for 4 new episodes. Filming for the final chapter has already finished. They say, I'm ecstatic. This is the executive producer, Holly Jackson, says, I'm ecstatic that we're able to bring A Good Girl's Guide to Murder to a bloody conclusion. So if you've been watching that, maybe you're excited. Speaking of Netflix, a docuseries, Michael Jackson, The Verdict, topped the platform's TV charts with 17.8 million views in its first 5 days. The 3-part series, which premiered June 3rd, revisits the 2005 trial where he was acquitted of all charges. And 3 men identifying as social media streamers were arrested Monday near Nancy Guthrie's Arizona residence following numerous public nuisance complaints. They were charged with public nuisance violations and obstructing the roadways. Of course, Nancy is the mother of the Today Show host, Savannah Guthrie. She disappeared January 31st. And Willie Nelson's Farm Aid announces 2026 Virginia Beach debut. That's right, September the 26th. Veterans United Home Loans Amphitheater there, Virginia Beach. It's going to rock it. Annual fundraiser for American Family Farmers features Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews, Margaret Price, and Nathaniel Ratliff. Additional performers are going to include Turnpike Troubadours, the Lucas Nelson, Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs, Jesse Wells, Sierra Farrell. There's a bunch of other people there. General tickets sales begin on Friday. Farm Aid. We all know that Willie Nelson's probably not going to be there, right? I mean, I don't think he's doing too well. I realize that is, what do you call it? Hearsay, per se, but that's my understanding. Phone lines lit up. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Jay and Laney J Live. What can we do for you today?
Is this a swap shop?
No, Swap Shop usually doesn't start till 9 o'clock, at 9 to 9:30, as it has been for a very long time. But Laney J's not here this week, so there will be no Swap Shop this week, sir.
Ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
I was
All right. Sorry about that, guys. And then back to this. Taylor Swift achieved a new country radio milestone with I Knew It, I Knew You from the Toy Story 5 soundtrack, becoming the first woman in history to have every reporting media-based station commit to playing a song in its first week. Swift acknowledged the achievement in Country Air Check, writing, "Man, it's been a while." The success marks her first significant country radio impact in over a decade, with her last country airplay number one being in 2013 with Highway Don't Care, the duet with Tim McGraw. So there you go. That's your entertainment and music news. And if you want to call the radio station, that's awesome. Probably just don't, use curse words like you just did. Because you have to be cut off if you curse on the radio. That's federal law, lady. Come on now. All right. We'll be back. Got a little Clint Black. Got no time to kill, but I got all the time to kill. It's Jay and Laney J Live on Bass Country 106. Good morning. Bass Country 106. Jay and Laney J Live. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host, hanging out with you. Thank you for joining me. It's been fun. It's been real. But has it been real fun? I don't know if it has or not. No, I've had a blast. Thank you for everyone that's joined us today. What are some of the topics that again, a big shout out to the Baptiste School reunion, the Old Settlers reunion. It's going to be this Saturday, the 13th. Doors open at 4 p.m., potluck at 5 p.m., featuring classes that end in 6. Obviously, everybody's invited, but classes that end in 6 are getting the highlight this year. And class of 76, they put this in bold right here on this piece of paper. It's your 50th year. Just for the record, 76. Yeah. So all former Baptiste students and their families are welcome to the Baptiste School reunion this Saturday. Get there at 4 o'clock. Get you a table for your family. Get you some potluck at 5. It'll be a great time. I want to say a big shout out again to Austin Loard, candidate for state representative here in District 1. He kicked off the show with me, and I want to say a big thank you to all of the candidates who have taken the time to talk to our listeners. We often let you know, yes, we have a large audience, blah blah blah, but at the end of the day, they could still just rely on Facebook if they wanted to, or they could just rely on knocking on doors and shaking hands and going to these things. But they know that there are a few people that may be undecided that are listening to the show every single morning, and so therefore they can garner an audience of possible people that they haven't talked to yet. So again, it's just a big shout out to all of the candidates who have come in and chatted here on the show. I believe we still have some more lined up, and if you still need a spot, I think we may have one spot available left, maybe two, through Tuesday. So, again, that would be a phone call a little bit later here on the show, or after the show here at the radio station. We'll get that taken care of for you. Let's see here. Oh, I did have one thing that I thought y'all might be pretty interested here, and I thought this was kind of cool because we're seeing it a lot here locally, I think. Says rising housing costs and remote work opportunities. Be careful with that remote work. We learned about that yesterday, though. They're pushing younger families away from the major cities, and smaller towns have seen population growth due to more young adults moving back to small towns. Especially, I always thought it was kind of interesting, as someone who grew up in a larger city, Oklahoma City, I always had the drive to move away. Does that make sense? And when I was young, I thought I wanted to move into a big city. Then after experiencing, visiting some big cities, I think I realized, no, it's the small town life. It's that slower lifestyle that I prefer more. So I think it's kind of cool. Maybe it's the way work has evolved now. A lot of people, not everybody has to get up and do a 9-to-5 style, assembly style job or something along those lines. So a lot of opportunities and to tie it in here with Broken Bow, Hochtown, McCurtain County area, tourism has created some great opportunities here for our young people to move off, get their education or whatever, get maybe some different experiences, and then come back and have that ability to make a great living here, even though it's small town USA. Dr. Pepper 23 said he wants to work as a driverless truck. I don't think it works that way, bro. No. I have seen, actually, I think Oklahoma's talking about the driverless truck program here. They're talking about whether they're going to legalize it, right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? And more restaurants are hiding secret menu items. Maybe they're not, quote-unquote, hiding them, if you will, but they're not providing obvious ways for you to order these secret menu items. I know a couple of great secret menu items here in McCurtain County and even in Sevier County over in Arkansas. So join me on the chat now at KKBI FM on TikTok for some of those secret menu items. Here's Hank Williams Jr. All right, Best Country 106, Jay and Laney J live. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host. Hank Williams Jr., a country boy, can survive. Well, that's going to do it for the show today. Remember, folks, we do not have any swap shop this week. Laney J is out. She'll be back next week, so no problems there whatsoever. All good in the hood. Yeah, I like it. Other things going on, of course, check out our website, seokradio.com, when it comes to all the things that you may didn't know around this area, like yard sales, things of that nature. You can also check the swap shop items from last week and all that good stuff. So big shout out to Blanc's Odds and Ends and Hamptons of Hochatown, as well as Justin Graham for County Assessor, today's sponsors of the Swap Shop Hour. We'll be back. That's going to do it for the show today. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. It'll be Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. Peace off. God bless you all. Bye.